Most ambitious men fail because they don't truly understand procrastination. But after beating procrastination myself and helping several of my clients do it, I've realized that no, you don't need more willpower. No, you're not lazy. And no, just do it won't help you. So, in this video, I'll be sharing the science of procrastination with the proven and tested approach to beat it every single time in just 90 seconds. But before that, I've created a free 4-hour long course that breaks down exactly how you can end procrastination permanently from its roots. So if you wish to dive deeper, the link is in the description. To start with, let's understand how procrastination works. Imagine a pipe through which water flows. Now, when everything is functioning properly, the water flows easily and effortlessly. Let's say 10 units of water pass through this pipe. What happens with time is this pipe starts to accumulate some waste. It starts to clog up. Now, for the same 10 units of water to come as an output, you need to push water with more force. With due time, the waste starts to accumulate. The pipe starts to clog up more, and you need to push water with even more force. And there comes a time when no matter how hard you push the water through, 10 units of water isn't going to come out. Eventually, what happens is that pipe clogs up completely, and no matter how hard you push the water, no water will come out the other end. So what's the solution here? To push water with even more force, or to clear up the clog, clear up the waste so that the water can flow again through the pipe effortlessly? This is exactly how procrastination works as well. When your motivation or energy pipe is nice and clear, your productivity flows and you can do the hard stuff. But when this pipe starts to clog up, you need to exert extra force, extra willpower for that same 10 units of output in terms of productivity. But there comes a time when this motivation, this energy pipe of yours clogs up completely, and all you experience is procrastination. Now, ambitious people like you can push through this clog with a lot of strength, with a lot of energy and willpower. But what happens with due time is even you start to burn out, you start to tire out, and in the end, procrastination always wins. But what's the clog of procrastination that blocks your pipe? To understand that, let me ask you this. Have you ever had an experience when you're feeling on the top of the world, full of motivation, and maybe something happened, you heard a bad news, and your heart just sank, your motivation vanished in thin air, and you didn't feel like doing anything? Where earlier you felt motivated and high in spirits, now you feel low energy or unmotivated. Maybe you even lost the motivation to eat. If your answer to that is yes, you experienced an instant clogging up of your motivation or energy pipe. And the reason for that is the thing that clogs up your pipe, the motivation pipe, is emotions. Let me explain. The emotions you experience, the emotions you feel are great motivators. They motivate you to do or not do something through reward or punishment. So if something feels pleasant, you are more motivated to do it. But if something feels unpleasant, that's a sign that you need to do it less. And if you think about it, even motivation is a feeling. You say, I feel motivated or I don't feel motivated. And that is exactly why it's easy to get shit done, to be productive when everything is perfect in your life, but impossible to function when your life is falling apart. For me, this clicked on my journey when I used to experience, if suppose I experienced some emotion from the past that was super heavy or difficult for me to deal with, I used to notice that my procrastination skyrocketed. It was difficult for me to function. And all I wanted to do in these times is to just lie on my bed and do nothing. And this still happens to me even now, every so often. But I've gotten much better at dealing with it using the principles that I'm about to share with you. For several reasons, like your upbringing and your past, you accumulate these emotional blocks that not just affect your productivity and cause you to procrastinate, but also affects every single aspect of your life, from your self-esteem to your relationships. By the way, if you found this helpful so far, check out the free course in the description where we deal with procrastination in much more detail at the levels of your body, mind, and emotions. So what do you think is a wiser approach to take here? To keep pushing through this clog of emotions to be productive, or take some time, take some effort to clear up this clog so that you can unleash all of that motivation. How do you do that? You do that by using this tool that I like to call Procrastination Killer. It helps you beat procrastination by cleaning this clog every single time procrastination rears its head, and that too in just 90 seconds. There are 3 steps to Procrastination Killer. The first step is to understand. This is something that you do to prepare yourself for procrastination before it hits. This step allows you to introspect on the emotional resistance to certain activities. And to really understand the root of your procrastination, I highly suggest that you do it with me right now using a pen and paper. So, the first question I want you to ask yourself is, when do I procrastinate? This includes what activities, so work, study, gym, etc. So, let's suppose you procrastinate on studying. Using what do I procrastinate? So, do you scroll instead? Do you gossip instead? Do you sleep instead? For me, sleep was a big one. So, I used to sleep a lot to avoid uh, doing the activities that I needed to do. Notice if there are any patterns, if there are any specific times of the days, any type of tasks, any context in which you procrastinate. So maybe you can't study at night. Maybe after work it's difficult for you to study, or maybe early morning it's impossible. So really look into it, really see what all activities that you procrastinate in, what do you procrastinate with, and if there are any patterns you can think of or recall. The second question I want you to ask yourself is, what emotion am I trying to avoid? Here, I want you to get curious about the underlying feelings beneath the avoidance. Consider what thoughts and feelings come up when you think about the task and write them down. So, think about what feeling and what are you thinking about the specific thing that you want to study for. If we take this example, so let's suppose you want to study for an exam. Consider this whole scenario and see what comes up for you, what feelings and what thoughts comes up for you. There are really 2 core emotions that everyone tries to avoid. The first one is fear of judgment, and the second one is fear of failure. So fear of judgment from others and fear of feeling like a failure or worthless. There can be others as well, so things like anxiety, self-doubt, etc. But the self-worth theory, this is what the self-worth theory is about, which says that every human has an innate aversion to these 2 feelings and tries to avoid these 2 feelings at any cost. The feelings of being worthless and the feelings of being seen as worthless. The second step to Procrastination Killer is to release. This is something that you do when procrastination hits. It helps you process the emotion, the clog, it helps you clear it up so that you can address procrastination from its cause. Here, what you do is you name the emotion using specific words and notice where you feel it in your body. So, if suppose you're feeling the fear of failure, you literally say it out loud that I am feeling the fear of failure. And then you physically use your finger to point to where you feel it. If you feel it as a tightness in your neck, you point to your neck. If you feel it as a pit in your gut, you point to your gut. You can use this app, How We Feel, which helps you pinpoint specifically what you're feeling in the moment, and that helps a lot. Then set off a timer for 90 seconds, and in this 90 seconds, I want you to accept whatever it is that you're feeling. Feel the emotion completely without trying to change it in any way. And I want you to remember that there is no inner experience that you need protection from, and it's all natural. Whatever you're feeling is natural, and you are meant to feel it. You're a feeling and thinking being. Journal about any thoughts and feelings that are going on, because journaling is a super effective way to process your emotion. So if you think that would help, take out your notebook and in these 90 seconds, as you're feeling it, express it onto a paper as well. Just breathe into it and allow it to exist for the 90 seconds until the timer goes off. It's important to remember that emotions are not permanent but temporary transient states. They come and go like the waves of ocean. If you don't resist them and if you feel them completely, it will rise and it will go away as well. The third step to Procrastination Killer is taking action. Now, this step will become easier now that you've cleared a little bit of clog for that 90 seconds. It will also help you to get into momentum and be productive. Once you're done feeling for 90 seconds, begin with the tiniest of step, like an imperfectionist. So if you have to complete an entire book, don't think of the entire process. Think of just starting with the first page. Focus more on starting than the entire process. And remember to celebrate tiniest of action. Our brain has a tendency to discount small actions. But as you all know, small actions compound over the years. So just make a note to celebrate the tiniest of actions. If you just ended up reading one paragraph, celebrate it, congratulate yourself. The more frequently you do procrastination killer, the more efficient you'll become at addressing this clog of emotion and clearing this up, and in turn beating procrastination. At first, it might feel uncomfortable, but that just means you're making progress and you're addressing the clog of emotions you've been avoiding all along. Procrastination Killer is just one of the 30 concrete steps I share to beat procrastination in this video. So if you'd like to become disciplined, you can click here.